looking for the best weapons in Crimson Desert. But wait, there's actually not any best weapons because everything's pretty much the same or a side grade of each other, maybe with a bit more raw attack or a bit more attack speed or a bit more crit. Well, yes, that's pretty much true, but some weapons do come with some really good Abyss gears, others can be refined to have slightly higher stats in something like crit than some of the other weapons, plus many of the weapons just look really cool. So here's all of our best and favourite weapons so far, from their Abyss gears to the stats on them and of course to the fashion. This will be a faster rundown than our usual format since there's a few things to go through, so if there's any confusion here, feel free to check out our full walkthroughs on the channel. I'm hoping there's at least one on here that you don't already have, so drop a like below if we did help you out, and let's get into it. We'll start off with one of the coolest looking one-handed swords in the game, the Fated Shadow. This thing looks so amazing. You can even completely dye the colors on it, so you could make it silver or gold or anything like that. Plus, it does actually come with a really good Abyss gear on it, the Grey Soul Howling. As you can see, upgrading this to maximum, it's basically a raw attack sword, but hey, all of the weapons in the game are pretty much on par, give or take a few points in attack or crit, attack speed or raw. You can see the Grey Soul Howling Abyss gear here, which is actually one of the best ones when it comes to increasing your damage, and it goes on your turning slash, plus it just looks really cool. There's actually two ways to get this, a fast way that you can do early, and the main story progression route, which is going to take pretty deep in progression. I think it's in chapter 9, but this is the fast way. If we go over to the Spire of Frost, if you actually complete the quest line there, you'll gain access to this Abyss Sky Island, and from this Abyss Sky Island, we can actually run through, I'll show you the quick method here, and actually glide over to the island where the sword is before you even need to fight the story boss for it. So as soon as you have access to coming into Payloon, which you just ride there, you can basically do this. So as you can see, from the Abyss Island, we just fly over to the connecting islands, having not completed the island at all or opened up any of the pathways. Just with some gliding, we can make it all the way across here to the north. And then you can see the red colored island over there in the distance, and that's where the sword is. That's where we're going to be flying over to. If you are coming here, you might want to bring some good stamina food. We have a full walkthrough on the channel with all that stuff if you are stuck, but for now, we'll just show you the quick way to get there if you want to try that. As you can see, when you fly towards the island, you might have to take a few of those stamina items, but you can just grapple onto the side and climb your way up because you can just glide across. And now that they added in that new focused barrel roll move when you are in focus mode and gliding, you could actually make it over here even faster and even easier than what I've just shown here. I just did a straight up normal glide across, so it should be even easier now. Once you get up, you can just literally traverse between these little side parts, getting to the main boss arena. And if you come here before chapter 9, the boss, of course, isn't going to be here. So you can go in this little side room, which is exactly where the Fated Shadow Sword is, allowing you to get it a lot earlier in the game than you otherwise would be able to get, making it both a very good one-handed sword for that raw attack damage, but also having that really good Abyss gear, one of the best damage increasing Abyss gears that pairs really well with some other ones. If you do come here during chapter 9 of the story though, as you can see, the story will just naturally bring you here. You just follow all the markers during that chapter, do all of the things, and eventually you will come here to fight Goyen, this old Grey Soul boss. So you can either just naturally get it later in the end, or near the end game of the story, or grab it early with the method we just shown. So that's going to be your two ways to get the Fated Shadow. Next up though, we have the Vow of the Dead King. Oh boy, I used this for a lot of my playthrough. This is one of the coolest spear weapons, obviously looking like a halberd, but it does have the spear moveset. It looks so good. Plus, this is actually one of the best two-handed weapons in the game when it comes to its stats, and that's because at maximum refinement, as you can see here, it actually goes up to level 4 crit on it. You can see level 4 crit, no Abyss gears increasing that, and 35 attack. This is actually just stat-wise one of the best ones, although again, 1 point in crit isn't game-breaking or anything like that. To get this, you want to go from Hernan, go all the way north to Payloon, as you can see here, line up with the eye in Payloon over on the left-hand side, near the big harpy nest. We're going to the Frost-Veiled Castle Ruins. You can see it's down here. You can easily use some Abyss Sky Islands to get here pretty easily. If it's your first time here, there'll be a bunch of enemies that you want to slay to clear the area out. Then you want to go down this little corner staircase, and you're going to basically come into a dungeon with a load of traps and things like that. Also, the ceiling will periodically fall down on you, so you want to keep moving around whenever you see some red flashes. You just want to get across the spikes, as you can see here. You could jump your way across with a grapple. You could climb along the wall on the edge. That's probably the easiest route. And then just make your way deeper inside. Obviously, watching out for the ceiling falling down, as you can see the red flashes everywhere, the rocks falling down. jump across this little gap here, and there'll be some flame traps on the next stairs to crouch under and then jump over. In this room, there'll be 2 or 3 of these stone worms. You can just take them out with attacks or grapple hook their face, the eyeball on them to insta-kill them. Then go through the little side door here, and you will see a blocked off room where you just have to light the lantern next to it to make those spikes go down. And just inside this little room will be the weapon to pick up. And this is easily usable throughout the entire game if you want to, due to its stats, how good it looks, and the spear moveset being really, really good as well. It obviously matches the Shadow Plate armor, which is the boss armor that it goes with. Next, we have the Darkbringer Greatsword, a personal favorite of mine out of the entire game. I'm still using this to date. This is really, really good because it's in a similar vein to the last one. It pushes crit even higher, up to level 3 this time, but it has higher base attack than the previous halberd. It also comes with the Aetor's Orb, which is really good for staggering enemies, not so much for DPS, but it's still a really visually cool one. To get this from Hanand, you want to go all the way north up to Payloon, to the very northwest, the top left of the map in Payloon, to this area right here. The easiest way to get there is from the Path of Trials Abyss Island. You can just fast travel from this point and skydive down. This is the trial that links and connects to unlocking the ice and the fire elements, so you will want to do them anyway. So if you've done that first, you can grab this in like less than a minute. As you can see, you can skydive down, you can pick up the fast travel point that's down here, and where the crows are circling on the edge of the map up here, there's a giant skeletal remains of a big giant or titan or something like that. And inside of its jaw, in its mouth, you can see the Darkbringer weapon here. So you just walk up, grab that, and you've got one of the best two-handed swords in the game, both stat-wise and visually. So really, really cool there. Next up, though, let's go over to the double-headed Axe of Greed. And although it's an axe, this is a one-handed weapon, and it comes in as one of the best one-handed weapons in terms of the crit stat, believe it or not. Plus, it looks so cool, and it will match any gold-themed armor set that you have, like the one I'm rocking here. The reason this is really cool, if you ignore the Abyss gear that comes in it, it goes up to level 3 crit rate and a pretty decent base attack. This is really easy to get. You could even get this really early. Go down from Hernand like we did to the Steel Mountains here on the map to this shipwreck. There's a nearby Cresset that I'll show you the run from, as I have this Cresset nearby. So from this Cresset, which is sticking out rocks in the edge of the cliff line here, so whichever way you're coming from, you can use that as a landmark. You'll see there's just a half shipwreck here. Now, this will have enemies here that you'll need to clear out if it's your first time coming here. They're just some pirate enemies. They're very easy to defeat. So just take them out. And in this little bit, just on the coastline, you'll see there's a barrel with the axe underneath it in the water. Now, for me, what I had to do was actually pick up and remove this barrel because it was pinning the axe down and not letting me pick it up. So I'm going to guess it's the same for you guys. So pick the barrel up, yeet it away somewhere, get it out the way, and then you have the prompt here, as you can see, to pick up the double-headed Axe of Greed. A really good one-handed weapon. I wish I grabbed this earlier in my playthrough, to be honest. Next up, we have the Frozen Anguish two-handed sword, and I mean, look at this thing. This is, I believe, a better raw attack sword. We'll check in a sec, but the visuals of this sword, the look of it, just make it look like one of the most badass weapons. It definitely rivals the other ones in terms of how it looks, so I gotta give kudos and put this one on the list because it just looks so good. As you can see, if you ignore the attack speed Abyss gear that's on it and the attack gear that's on it, it goes up to really high raw attack. It doesn't have any substats, so this is a pure raw attack weapon. From Hanand, we want to go northeast up to the Spire of Frost to get this one. This is another one that you can grab early, but this area is very dangerous, so you'll have to try and bypass some strong enemies if you come here early, but it is possible if you want to. I don't recommend it, but it's possible if you want to. From the fast travel point just outside the Spire, you just want to walk up the main entranceway, and you can see that there is a light shining on a frozen lantern there. So hit that with a turning slash R1, R2, light the lantern, and this will actually allow you to get inside and open up the door. There's actually a quest line here to light all of the lanterns as you go up the tower, and this is what gains you access to the Sky Island above the tower, but you don't have to do that here. You just light the one at the front, open the door, get inside, and as you can see inside, if we go around the corner here, under the stairs, there's a big glowy chest, and it's inside of this big glowy chest that you can get the Frozen Anguish. So no crazy boss fights or anything like that, just some enemies you have to run past to actually get here. Pretty easy. Next up, let's get you the Combat Gods Plate Gloves. These are actually gloves, but hey, they're not a weapon. Why are they in a weapon video? Well, you can do unarmed attacks, which makes them into a weapon, and these add thunder elemental damage to your attacks, plus they have the combo counter Abyss gear on them, some of the best Abyss gears in the game for melee. Here we have the Bone Pit quest that you'll find in the Tashkalp city up in the Crimson Desert on the top right of the map. You just want to go here, talk to the guy, he'll tell you about the arena. The quest will update, as you can see here. You'll then basically want to go up to the arena, talk to this guy. Make sure, though, that you have your unarmed fists selected. If you have a two-handed weapon selected, you can't actually talk to him and enter the arena because it's a fist fight only. You see the rules here. But once you've done that, you'll then have to fight someone in the arena. Really, really easy. Once that's been done, if you defeated them, you'll then have to fight someone else in the arena. Again, really, really easy. And after that, you'll have to fight perhaps what people are calling one of the toughest boss fights in the game. And this is because you have to use your unarmed moveset. You can do wrestling moves, like your grapples and stuff, and your clotheslines, but you can't do weapon attacks or you'll automatically fail the fight. So what makes this interesting and hard for people is that you basically have to learn how to dodge his attacks and attack in between, because you can't just cheese him with a really good build and really high damage. As you can see, with a few punches and some good timing, you can stagger him, you can take him out. And once you've finally defeated him, yes, a lot of people are struggling with this boss, so don't feel bad if it takes you a few tries. But once you've defeated him, you will get these Combat God's Plate Gloves, giving you the lightning-infused melee attacks. It also augments your melee to do an AoE, and you get the consecutive hits increase your damage with the combo counter on the side of the screen, which can stack up to 3, one of the best Abyss gears. Now we're going to go to the Parvel Greatsword. I bet you haven't seen this one before, or I'm guessing you haven't. Look how awesome this is, and this, in my opinion, is clearly inspired by a particular sword from a series that I personally love, and I know many people do. How much does this look like Aragorn's sword? It's got 2 names, the sword. I'm not even going to try and say them because I know I'm going to upset someone by getting it wrong. But how much did that look like Aragorn's sword? It upgrades to level 3 crit with really high raw, making it one of the highest crit rate swords for Damien. It's over here in Demonis, in the city of Demonis, from this vendor. So we're going to run from this nearby fast travel point to that. The only downside with this sword is that it is specifically locked to Damien. If we could use this on Cliff, we could be living our best Lord of the Rings cosplay outfit vibe, but unfortunately it's a Damien only sword, but it still had to make it on the list because it's one of the best swords for her, and it's one of the best visuals for her. I absolutely love the way this one looks. Clearly inspired by the Lord of the Rings sword, if you ask me. By the way, which sword is it of Aragorn's? You tell me down below. Next up, though, we have the Golden Knotted Ancestral Bow. We recently put out a video on pretty much most of the good bows in the game and how to get them. This one I didn't include in that video, so I'm going to throw it in here because it's actually one of the best raw attack bows, and it has a really nice flavor to it, and it's got that golden knot on it as well. So if you're looking for a raw attack bow, this will sort you out, which is really good on those explosive spam builds. So in Payloon, northwest of the Silver Wolf Mountain, exactly here, line up the fast travel point and the eye in the silver. And it's right exactly there when I'm stood. This one's really hard to find, so follow me exactly. From the fast travel point, run straight towards the marker, straight east. Keep running east, you'll see a second big red tree here. Go through the needle here of this little gap, and if you line up exactly where I am, you'll see this 2 little patches of rock and a little tiny ladder hatch. This is really hard to find if you don't follow exactly where I showed and the exact marker on the map. You can see you have the 2 rock parts here, 2 grey rock parts, and this is what it looks like when you look up towards the mountain. So use this to orientate yourself and find it, but where I showed on the map is the exact point of where the opening is, not where the item is. That was where the opening was. When you go inside the ladder, though, you'll be in a little dungeon. Watch out. As you can see here, the floor will shatter and break, and that is lava down there. That will kill you, so don't fall down the hole in the floor. But do just make your way deeper down inside. There'll be a stone door here that will then open up. It slowly opens up. It will take a minute. And then we have to dodge a few traps here. You can see the saws. They go across the sides of the room. They're really slow, though. So as soon as they cross, you can basically just run across the whole thing. But watch out, because there's going to be some pillars here with some things to dodge. As you can see, I fluffed it. I still didn't die, so it's not too bad. But just precision jump your way across, and then axiom force jump your way into the sky and head over to this next door. And just behind this door is going to be the Golden Knotted Ancestral Bow. A really nice bow to use. Definitely a cool one to use if you want a raw attack bow. I do like the look of it as well with the shells. Next up, though, let's look at the Aeserion gear. It wouldn't be a best weapons video without showing the ultimate endgame weapons, which are the Aeserion weapons, which you will have to craft at a smithy. Now, the interesting thing about these is that just like everything else as explained, they're not particularly better stat-wise, but they do have some really nice visuals on them. There's all kinds of varieties from halberds to the dagger, to the swords, to the mace, to the bow. But to get them, you're going to have to come here. This is between Delicia and Hernand, near, as you can see, the Three Brothers Cliff on the Serpent Shrine. This is also where you get the Aeserion scales needed to both craft these and refine any gear to level 10. So you will have to come here anyway if you want to max out your gear. Pick up all the scales if you can. It's the big serpent lightning snake god that's around here. But on this side of the island, exactly where we showed on the map just a moment ago, you can see if you fly on down, this is sort of the southwestern side of the island, the south side of the island. You will see as you come down, there's some ruins, and there's a big mural with the serpent and a guy with a fan. And there's a suspicious rock here that we can do a focused force palm punch on. Just aim at the sphere when it glows, take it out, seal that away in your cuckoo pot because you can use it to craft things later on in the game. And just inside will be a chest that will give us the Aeserion gear book blueprint. Then the important thing here is, this is the part that you don't want to miss out. Use that in your inventory to learn the Aeserion gear, but unlike some of the other books, you need to keep turning the pages and keep learning each page. So you can see we learnt the sword on the left of the page. It needs all those materials. On the right side of the page, we've learnt the dagger, but then we need to turn the page and learn the left side again. This will teach us the bow, and keep on going and learn every single piece of Aeserion gear. Well guys, if we helped you out and you enjoyed the video, maybe you found a new weapon to go after, do drop a like down below. It's a great way to say thank you back, and we really appreciate the support on the videos. And subscribe for more Crimson Desert, because we got you covered, coming very, very soon. Here at Arix Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.